Hunter A to Z. Pubs and studs. A little late this morning, but I'm very glad that Michael Malone, who works at Kitchwin Hills Stud in Scone, can be with us this morning. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jill. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Tell us where Kitchwin Hills Stud is.
So Kitchwin Hills is just east of Scone, about 25 minutes drive, out past the little town of Gundy, up towards Elliston, up towards Kerrypacker's place.
Now, I've been on that road. That is like prettiness personified.
It is. It's a little bit windy and rough, but it's a beautiful little valley house once you get up there. And a great little town and a good community. How
long's the stud been there for?
So Kitchwin Hills has been commercially running for probably about 16 years, but 20 years I'd say all up. They've had a few horses and whatnot, but they sort of went down the commercial road about 16 years ago.
And so what's the particular, forte of Kitchwin?
So Kitchwin Hills has 3 stands. We've got a stand called Dewpaw, Time for War and Dane Shadow. We have a few mares of our own, but probably 85%, 80% of the mares on farm would be clients, and we breed to sell. Some are retained to race, but generally we breed to sell. And
if Colonel Sanders has got like 11 favourite herbs and spices, what's the secret at Kitchwin Hills?
Well, we've had a lot of luck. We've bred Golden Slipper winners and Magic Millions winners and Derby winners, so a lot of nice horses have come off the farm. I think I'd like to say it's management. it's all us, but I think the country definitely plays a big role. At the head of sort of our little valley, there's a massive lime deposit, and so a lot of calcium in rich soil throughout where we are, and just generally Scone's the horse capital, of Australia. So there's a lot of nice stands in the valley. So that attracts nice mares and good clients, and those mares in turn go to those good stands and give them every chance. So I think it's a little bit of everything. Obviously our management practice and our staff, they do a terrific job. So
how interesting. But it's interesting to hear you say there that the calcium soil, it really is good, rich land.
Yeah, it is. I think just the history in the area, and that sort of up our road, which is the Archibalds and Beltrees up through there, the Whites, where they've been breeding, for centuries, really great polo horses and toughness into their stock. And I think we sort of claim that, but a lot of our horses off our farm get longevity, and they race till they're 5 and 6 year old, even older. So I think it all plays a bit of a role, but it's hilly country too. So a lot of our stock are raised on the side of the hill, so they've got to work a bit harder as babies, and all those things I think add to a successful racehorse.
Really interesting. Michael Malone is with me on 12:33 at 11 after 10. He's from Kitchwin Hills Stud. Why is it called Kitchwin?
Yeah, interesting little story. The Browns now run it, and I'm a part owner in the business. But their parents, Di's parents, was Kitchener Bridges, and the mother was Winifred Bridges, so they call it Kitchwin Hills.
Oh.
So that's how it originated. And
that's cute.
And I think when we first started, you'd ring people up and you'd say you're from Kitchwin Hills, and they thought you were talking about a kitchen and you're trying to sell them something. But it's really now it's become a bit of a household name, and we're a very successful farm throughout Australia, and we sell horses all over the country.
How big's the property?
So we're 1,000 acres.
Okay.
We'll foal down about 110 mares. Like I said, we've got the 3 stands, and we'd have another sort of 50 or 60 dry mares, so maidens that have just come off the track, or mares that didn't conceive the year prior. And we sell about 70 yearlings each year throughout the major sales, so up in Brisbane and Melbourne and Adelaide and Gold Coast and down in Sydney.
Such an insight into the business as you drive along that road and you don't know what's going on behind the fences, and you don't even know the language of what's going on. It's pretty productive, even though it just looks like sleepy rolling hills. Hey, Michael, what got you into this world?
I was actually born and bred in Sydney, and I realised I was a bit of a mongrel child. I realised pretty quick that the Sydney wasn't the go for me, so I ran away from home when I was about 15. I jackarooed all over the place, and wasn't real smart, but I was smart enough to realise I wasn't going to make a lot of money chasing cattle around. So I ended up coming back to Scone because the horses interest me a lot. I'd sort of done a lot of breaking in those years and did a bit of rodeoing and what's not. And came down and worked for different studs, Arrowfield Stud in particular, down in the Hunter. And from there I ended up at some friends, the Browns that owned Kitchwin Hills, thought why don't you come up and have a look at this? And I must say at the start, I didn't think it would really work out because we're a bit further out of town. But in the first 12 months of being at the farm, we bred 2 group horses off the farm, and it just grew from there very quickly. So it's been a pretty fast ride.
Amazing story, Michael. I just pulled up on the weekend. There were races at Broadmeadow at Newcastle, and I was just sort of driving by when they were trying to push the horses and with their jockeys into the starting box, and I just sort of decided to pull up and just sit there and watch them, and you just see those horses up close. Gee, they're amazing. Just so to be working with them day in, day out, trying to breed them to their very best, it must be almost surreal sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's something that we all take for granted, really. The girls and guys in the industry, and there's some terrific people in this game. And I think when we have clients come out of Sydney and they come to the farm, like last night, we had 2 foals, and we're up at sort of 11 o'clock and then back to bed and then up at 3. And just for people that aren't used to it, when they see how much work goes into it, it is mind-blowing. It's an amazing industry with some amazing people in it.
Well, look, I'm glad you could be with us this morning on Hunter A to Z. So we're discovering a bit more about Kitchwin Hills Stud. Great story about how it got named there. I understand you also are a bit of one of the owners of the Lingalonga in Gundy.
Yeah, no, that's...
You help keep the bar up there, do you? Literally?
Yeah, I don't think it was the greatest investment I've ever done, but we've had a lot of fun over the times, and it's a beautiful little town, Gundy, and the guys that run it now, Terry and Louise there. It's a great little spot. If you're ever up this way, it's definitely worth dropping in and having a look.
Cultural icon. Michael, have a great day.
Thank you very much for having me.